Hi, so in this video, we are going to have a look at the NextGen KeySecure backup and restore process. So here I have two systems. One is the KeySecure K170V version 191, and the other one is a version 110. So we'll be doing a backup and restore process from 1.9.1 to 1.10. For this, we log in into the GUI, and once we are inside, we go to the admin settings and we go to the backups section. So inside the backup section, as explained in the presentation, we have two things. One is the backups, the other thing is the backup keys. So a backup key is by default present on every KeySecure. So whenever your KeySecure gets installed, there is a backup key that is created in the system and it stays there. You can choose to delete it or create a new backup key. So your backups can be tied to a backup key that is the default backup key, or for each backup, you can create a separate backup key as and when required. So for this process, what we'll be doing is we'll create a backup key and then we'll create a backup. So we go to the backup key section, we click on create backup key. As soon as we click on create backup key, we get a backup key created. Now, if you notice, this backup key is not the default backup key. So there's an option if you want to keep using the default key that was created by the KeySecure as the default backup key, or you can set this newly generated key as the default backup key. So in order to export this key to the 1.10 system, you'll need to download this key, and this key will be protected with a password. So I'll give it a password. And we will save this backup key to our system. Now we go to the backups and we create a backup. So now while creating the backup, this is asking us if we want to use the default backup key, which is this key, or if we want to use the key that we just created, which is this key. So I'll select this one and I'll click on create. Now, if you look at the console, it says created, and now there's a green tick mark and the status says backup created. And if you look at the backup section here, we have a backup ID, which says if the backup is tied to an HSM, it says no. And it shows you the backup key with which this backup is created. Now, if we go to the backup keys, we see that this is the backup key with which our backup has been created. So we have already downloaded this backup key. What we'll do is we'll download this backup file and save this to our system. So here, if you look at the keys and access management section, here we have few keys that are created. I think there are a few users as well that we have on our system, and we'll take them to a newly created 1.10 system. So if I log into this 1.10 system, if I go into the keys and access management, the key section is empty. The user section only has the admin user and the global user, which are the default created users. Now we go to the admin settings and then we go to the backup section again. So we go to the backup keys and there's a default backup key that has been created here. We'll now upload a backup key to this system. So now browse for this file in my system. So this is the backup key. And I click on open and then provide the backup key password. Okay, the password was wrong. I'll try it again. All right, so the backup key uploaded to this KeySecure. So if you look at the attributes, it gets the same date on which this backup key was originally created and not on this system. So if you look at the backups on the 1.9 system, we go to the backup keys. If you look at the date created for this backup key, it is exactly the same as what we see in the 1.10 system. So this is the thing to note here. If you upload a backup key, the date created for that backup key, or in case of the backups as well, the date created does not change. So now we go to the backups and we do an upload backup, browse, and we select the backup that we created, and then we click on upload. So now it says our backup has been uploaded, and it did not complain because we already had the backup key with which this backup was encrypted. So now what we do is we will go to the options button, and then we will click on the restore button. It asks us for a confirmation, and we'll click on the restore button. So we'll wait for the restore process to finish. So once the restore process is finished, this page will log out and it will bring us back to our login screen. So as you can see now, the 1.10 system, the backup has been restored and it has brought us back to the login prompt. So one more thing to notice is that if you are bringing the backup from another system and the admin user password is different on the other system from this system, then you will have to use the backup. You will have to use the password that was on the 1.9 system instead of that was here. So we'll now log in to this machine. And if we go to the keys and access management part, we see that all the keys that we saw on the 1.9 device are on the 1.10 KeySecure now. Similarly, this would be the case for the users and all the other settings that were part of that backup. Thank you.